Good afternoon, this is Colton with Build Brothers Roofing and Solar doing a digital roof inspection here for a new homeowner out in the Carlsbad area. We like to do these inspections, outline the current condition of the roof, and then provide any recommended action. This is a flat concrete tile roof. This is the original tile from when the home was built in 2001, making this roof and this roofing system 25 years old. The flat concrete tile itself lasts a very long time, and it just keeps getting harder in the sun. And so the real waterproofing mechanism and the most important part of this roof is the underlayment. The underlayment waterproofs the roof, and with enough rain, the water always gets underneath the tile. And actually you can see right here we have the eave, which is the overhang, but you can see how there's a drip edge metal, and then there's a tile riser that rises up the first tile to be in line with the rest of the tile. And you can see how there's little holes right here that let out the water once it gets underneath the underlayment. In Carlsbad, I've seen this a couple times where there is no rake tiles. There's actually a board that raises up to a tile pan flashing. This directs water off the roof. This is an older style and not an improved way of doing it now. Typically, if we re-roof this house, we would put a rake tile that would go over the edge, because this just ends up rotting out this piece of wood really quickly, keeping water on the roof, kind of flushing it, forcing it back onto the paper. So the wood looks to be in good condition. Looks like it's been well maintained. Painting prevents termite damage. The roof also looks to be pressure washed. I can see that because the kind of the condition of the tile itself, the first layer of color, has kind of been stripped off, but all the moss has been taken off the roof. Maybe insurance company required them to pressure wash the roof or something because they were seeing moss. So on the north side of the roof, because it doesn't get as much sun, it is going to have some moss growth just over time. There's been some repairs to the edge of the roof right here. You can see new tiles that were brought in, maybe some broken tiles, maybe there was something water that was getting underneath the eave, a bad piece of fascia board. They had to remove some tiles to do some repairs right there. There's really no cracked tiles on this roof. The tiles are in good condition themselves. Valleys are a little crowded. We like to see a little bit more space in this valley right here. These are very sensitive areas because you get a lot of water that comes together. And then there is a little bit of a roll to this roof. You can see where the plywood's kind of, almost bending down a little bit. Very common in flat tile roofs. With S-tile, it kind of hides that because the tiles all have a roll. But yeah, you're gonna see that, in this, just over time, the plywood sags a little bit. So nothing to be concerned of. And then the underlayment, which is the most important part. We can see the underlayment system. This is the felt paper. You can see in areas where it kind of starts to degrade, right? A single layer of the felt paper has a 20-year manufacturer warranty. You can see right there that there is only one layer of the felt. We see the plywood decking right here. And so, that tells us that now when we re-roof, we use 2 layers of the felt paper. And so, an expected life expectancy of a single layer is around 20 to 25 years with proper maintenance. And now, when we re-roof, we can reuse the tiles and then replace with 2 layers of a 40-pound felt paper. Replace all the flashings, widen the valleys, add rake tiles to the side, use low-profile O'Hagan vents for the vents on the roof. We can replace all the flashings around the chimney, raise up the chimney flashing a little bit. Just a bunch of upgrades that are now done in building code. So the roof's been well maintained. You can see some rake tiles that have been replaced right here. The flashings themselves are all metal. We do have the original single layer of the felt paper underneath. There is one cracked tile right there. So this roof is forecasted within the next 2 to 3 years to replace the underlayment system on the roof. That is the professional recommendation. That's what we're going to write up here for our report. Thank you, and I'll get this over to the inspection report. Thank you.